Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I rise to contribute to the public interest debate on behalf of the Greens, and I want to thank the member for Blue Mountains for this important public interest debate. Madam Speaker, look, let's be really clear. As we're heading towards extinction of species, we're going to be having these kind of tough conversations in this chamber for a very long time. No one's pretending it's easy. But we welcome Labor for honouring their election commitment and backing in environmentalists and conservationists for many decades to deliver this vital sanctuary and habitat, not just for the koalas within the footprint, but for also of nearly 500,000 hectares once it's delivered, but also a raft of species that are threatened with extinction, as well as critically endangered and vulnerable species. And I'm having some strong feelings about the coalition, but before I express those, I want to first acknowledge the tireless advocacy of campaigning of environmentalists everywhere who've stood up for koalas and our precious species, not just in this state, across the world, across the country, but around the world. We have been a source of lament with people all over the world who absolutely value and love our national icon, the koala, as well as all of our incredible species. All of the environmental organisations who push for this outcome, and I'm so thrilled as well to see that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander component around rangers and the tourism element. I also want to recognise our portfolio holder, the Honourable Sue Higginson MLC, relentless campaigner on this and the Greens over many decades to see an end to logging in precious habitat like this. But this was never, ever going to happen under the coalition. Now, I was here for 8 years of their so-called record investment in koalas, and just one example will suffice because it's emblematic. The Pacific Highway upgrade. And no disrespect to my national colleagues that I work very closely with, but let's get real, because we saw millions of dollars invested in so-called koala protection mitigation measures that were an absolute farce. Every environmentalist and ecologist told them it was a farce, and we saw kilometres of fencing built that fell over, was never maintained and didn't work at all. So I saw that firsthand as the member supporting sensitive receivers and community, but also all of the environmentalists and ecologists. So don't even start. And when I hear good people talking this down and the mean-spiritedness of it, I'm really disappointed. But also, I have never heard the coalition talk about a just transition for workers. Absolutely never. We have been talking about a just transition for loggers. That's not in our wheelhouse, but we have always had a policy about a just transition for people working in that industry. And you tar us as somehow extremists. We have always had a just transition policy. And we're very pleased, and we will hold Labor to account on that, on what they're doing to support those workers. How dare you? Because we actually are committed to that. We are committed to people. I want to also formally thank the Premier, the Environment Minister, Honourable Penny Sharp, the Minister for North Coast, Janelle Saffin, and everyone in the government who's made this happen. We do have concerns. We will be keeping an eye on the management of the park and the relationship with generating carbon credits. It's the Greens' opinion that building a model for national parks, especially new ones that depend on external monetary incentives outside of New South Wales, is not sound. We believe national parks and other conservation designations are inherently valuable. It's a mistake, we feel, to try and wait for economic advantage. But we're not talking this down, we're raising those concerns. This is also in terms of the integrity of the Australian carbon credit units. We have real problems with it. But on behalf of my community, I thank the incredible volunteers and organisations, and I know that there are so many environmentalists in your community that are going to be going, what the hell? Why aren't you saying that this is a great thing? I want to mention in my community, Wires, Bangalow Koalas, Friends of Koala, North East Forest Alliance, Northern Rivers Wildlife Hospital, Byron Bay Wildlife Hospital, Northern Rivers Wildlife Carers, New South Wales Wildlife Council, Byron and Ballina Council, and particularly koala ecologist Caitlin Weatherstone, and all of the other dedicated experts and passionate people working behind the scenes to see this good work. It's really disappointing. I don't see why the Liberals and Nationals could not be saying that this is welcome and get right in amongst the just transition for their workers. That's appropriate. That's their job. But instead they're being ideological.
The member